One of the biggest mistakes I see photographers make is thinking they need a brand new offer or even a cheaper price point to attract more and better clients. A new package, a new niche, a new service, a bigger discount. Because surely that's what's missing, right? But what if the problem isn't what you're selling? What if it's how you're packaging it? And yeah, I know that sounds like something you've probably heard a squadrillion times before. Just add more value. Just position it better. Easy. But stick with me because I'm going to show you what that actually looks like in real life. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Stine, creative business owner and photographer with more than 15 years experience. And in that time, I've used what I now call the paid model call method to attract aligned clients and grow my business, all without discounting my work or chasing bookings like it's a full-time sport. And before we go any further, I want to be really clear about something. The paid model call method isn't actually about model calls. The model calls are just the vehicle. What we're really talking about is turning the work you're already doing and the services you're already offering into intentional experiences that attract the right people, create real connection, and generate long-term value for your business. Now let's dive in. So the first shift we need to make is to stop starting with what you're selling. Instead, you start with why it exists. Who is this for? What story are you telling or trying to tell? And what do you want people to feel or experience? Just an example, my Becoming 40s project wasn't really about selling portraits. It was about helping women feel seen and celebrated at a stage of life where they often feel invisible. Now, obviously, the photos mattered. That's what they ended up with after all. But the reason people applied wasn't, I want some nice photos. It was a meaning behind it. It was a chance to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Which brings me to the next part. This is where a lot of photographers get stuck. They're thinking they're selling a shoot. But your clients aren't waking up thinking, I really need to buy a 60-minute photography session today with 20 photos. They're thinking about how they would like to feel and what it would be like to go through an experience like that. This will of course differ depending on your type of photography, but for my clients it was feeling seen, confident, celebrated, documented, and connected. Your job is to build an experience around that, not just a list of inclusions, because people don't just buy the photos. Well, technically they do, but what they're really buying is what those photos represent. So how do you do that? You guessed it, by adding value. One of the biggest things I changed in my business was stopping the race to the bottom. I made clear decisions to start adding more value instead of always discounting my work. Yes, I know, you're probably rolling your eyes right now because adding value is one of those phrases that gets thrown around like confetti at a wedding. Everyone says it. I know, but almost nobody explains it. So let's fix that. Adding value doesn't mean giving away your entire business for free. It means making the experience feel intentional, supportive, and worth investing in. That could be a welcome guide, a consultation, wardrobe support, hair and makeup, but the real shift isn't really all the extras. It's the feeling of being looked after, being a part of something with impact and something that feels meaningful. Because when people feel looked after and have complete confidence in your offer, price often becomes a lot less important. You see, by adding value like this, you remove the point of friction and potential clients are much more likely to say yes. Which brings me to the next thing. Just as you are upfront and transparent about your offer, you should always be upfront about your pricing too. This is a big one. Clients should never be surprised by your pricing, not at the session, not at the ordering appointment, and definitely not in that moment where they're suddenly looking at you like you've just quoted the price of a small European island. Clarity builds confidence, so always make sure pricing is visible early, products are introduced up front, and the process is clear from the beginning. Because confusion kills sales, but clarity creates them. Let me show you what I mean. Just as an example, 2 photographers, same photo shoot. Photographer A posts on Facebook looking for people to photograph. 2 people book, the shoot happens, photos are delivered, and that's it. No upgrades, no follow-up, no email lists, no referrals, and she's back on the marketing hamster wheel. Now, photographer B takes the exact same shoot and turns it into a campaign with a purpose. She creates a beautiful landing page, qualifies clients, books only the most aligned ones and adds those to an email list. Then she nurtures those leads with relevant emails going up to the shoot. Then she gathers testimonials and generates referrals by following up afterwards. Same camera, almost the same photographer, same amount of work, completely different business outcome. Do you see the difference? One sells photos, the other sells experience, and that's really what this method is all about. If you learn nothing else from this video, this is the one thing I want you to take away. You really don't need more services or offers, and definitely not more discounts or cheaper sessions. You need better packaging and a better system you can repeat. Because once you understand how to turn what you already do into intentional campaigns, everything starts to feel a lot less like constant hustle and a lot more like a sustainable business. Now, if you're watching this thinking, okay, I actually want to try this for my own business, I've put together a free starter kit that highlights the 3 key shifts to start making. And if you're ready to go a little bit deeper, the full paid model call method is where I show you exactly how I build these campaigns, from idea to bookings to client experience. So you can start implementing it today. Now that you understand how to structure a campaign that actually sells, you might want to watch the next video where I show you how to write a call out that attracts the right people and gets them genuinely excited to apply. I'll see you in the next one.